Mm-hmm. Yo. All right, there we go. I'll be right back, y'all. Give me a quick second. All right. Today is gonna be a quick, short segment, just to put y'all on. I told y'all I'm turning this channel into something positive, push education, finance, stuff for the kids, community projects. So today we're gonna talk about a way that you can set your kids up for greatness, right? We're gonna talk about CD accounts, right? So if you don't know what a CD account is, it's a certified deposit. It's similar to a savings account, except for it has compounding interest, meaning it bases interest off the total in the account, not the initial deposit. So let's say you have a newborn, right? 1 years old. You get a CD account. You start initially with $1,000, right? I bring up a calculator for you, right? So say 18 years, right? Start with $1,000. That's a $747.62 um, money you made off the interest. And that's not including if you set up a CD account where you can make active deposits, right? So let's say every month you put $50 in that CD account. You start with 1,000 every month, you put in 50. So you're adding money each month for 18 years. You can turn that CD account into a 10 to 20,000, $30,000 investment depending on how much money you put in there monthly. So this is a great way that you can set your kids up for success in the future. This is money you don't touch. There's a penalty if you withdraw early. So I currently have two CD accounts. I have one on a 4 year cycle and a 7 year cycle, and I just keep letting them renew. And each month, well, only one of them I can actively deposit in. So each month I try to put a little bit more money into the CD account, but I'm able to put money in. You want to shoot for a 3 to 4% APY, if not higher. You usually do not want to do these at your banks. You usually want to do these at a credit union. A credit union will usually yield a higher interest rate or APY. Now, again, I'm not a financial expert. These are things I've learned on my own that I'm just trying to educate the community in to put y'all on game. So again, let's say you have a newborn, 18 years, you start with $1,000, but each month you put, $50 to $100 in there every month. You do that for 18 years. When your kid turns 18, they'll have 10, anywhere, depending on how much you put in there, 10, 20,000, depending on how much you put in there every month. And that'll help them, go into this real world with some type of advantage, right? They won't just be 18 like most of us. 18, we had to get out our parents' house. We didn't have a dollar to our name, nothing. So you do this for your children, I'm guarantee you they will be, um, they'll have a head start over most children that come from, lower income households. This is a great way to give your kids a fighting chance in this world. Things is getting crazy, so you got to prepare them for the worst. So this is just one easy way you can set them up for success. Um, Also, I say it's good to learn about financial literacy on your own. Maybe take a little course at your local community college, or you got YouTube, Google. Educate yourself and then pass that information on to your children, right? Because a lot of us that come from the middle class or below poverty line, we're not taught financial literacy. I just happen to educate myself and learn a few things throughout just life. People putting me on game, so I'm willing to share that information with you guys as well. This is, like I said, this is an easy, great way to set your kids up, man. Imagine if you was 18, you graduated high school, you had 10, $20,000 in the bank. You could focus on what you want to do in life. You could focus on trade school. You could focus on starting your business. You could focus on college if that's what you want to do. Instead of having to focus on getting a 9 to 5 and paying your bills and buying this, buying that. You got some wiggle room. What if you graduate with 10 to 20,000, and even if you don't come from a lower income or middle class family, you say you're coming from an upper class family. That's even better. That means you have the means to provide for your kid even after they're 18 to help them chase their dreams and purpose. You can let this stack for even longer. Say you start with a CD account when they're born and they don't touch it until they 40, 50 years old and you put money in there every month. They mess around and retire with $1 million, at least, seven figures. Let's say you take your tax return back. Say you get 3,000 back in tax return, 18 years. 18 years, if you started with initial deposit of $3,000, 18 years, it'd be at $5,242.85. And that's without adding any extra money every month. So just imagine every year you take a portion of your tax return and you put that into your children's CD accounts. Let's say you don't have the money to um, put money in their accounts every year. Just say you take a portion of that tax return and you put it in there every year, 18 years. They're going to graduate with a lot of money when they hit 18. And this is just one easy way, again, that you could put your children on. Make sure they're set when they turn 18. They got some wiggle room. They're not in survival mode. They can focus on their goals, focus on their dreams, focus on their aspirations, right? So again, for those of y'all that are tuning in, I appreciate y'all tuning in. We're gonna post these clips to the Twitch page and the YouTube page. So check them out. If anybody tuned in, I appreciate you tuning in. It's been short and sweet, but I appreciate it. Peace.